morning everyone, and welcome back to Master Tarot. Still miserable weather here. It's supposed to keep raining well into next week. As the garden is loving it. I must admit, being Kiwi from upbringing, I'm loving it. Wish I had a fireplace to light. And you know, the garden is going nuts as we move into our late spring. However, in the US, you guys are moving into winter. And I want to have a quick look about, well, I'll try and make it quick. I tend to, as I have been reminded by some people, that I do tend to waffle a bit and end up a little bit longer than I wanted to be. But I want to have a quick look at how will the Texas electricity grid cope this winter. Terrible storm last winter, which forced shut down the electricity grid for a lot of Texas, most of Texas, from what I understand. The state government has brought up a law to for electricity provider companies to winterize their grid, whatever that means. However, it's not been brought into law and it hasn't been done yet. So, you know, the Senate representative, Mr. Cruz, decided he didn't like this no electricity, so packed his family up and flew south for the winter. Sadly, most families or people in Texas cannot do that, and there were several deaths caused by the freezing conditions. I don't know if your water also froze up. It wouldn't surprise me, but it was quite primitive and horrific for a while there last winter. So I want to have a quick look and see how this year's going to go. Texas is a very big oil state. Their current government are determined to maintain their reliance on oil and gas, whereas other states and other countries are converting to renewables. Their claims are that, renewables don't work in the cold, which is surprising considering in Canada and Northern Europe are doing quite nicely on renewables in the cold, in conditions that are a lot colder and more adverse than Texas itself. So just for the people of Texas, I want to see, okay, tell me about the power system in Texas. Tell me about the power system in Texas. Now I'm using my moving on out of troubled waters, using my mystical manga cards today. These are what I use for my political readings. They're a little bit slippery, so my shuffling is all over the place if I don't concentrate. So tell me about the power grid in Texas. Let's have a look. Okay, moderation, rebalancing, the Hierophant, government, King of Swords. This is an authority figure who is insightful. And the Queen of Swords. My goodness, that's interesting. So 2 major arcana and the 2 truth cards. So, and the Empress at the base. I'm seeing that it's going to be okay this year. I am getting the feeling it's because the weather isn't as extreme. So it will be able to maintain itself. This can be the government, but it's also system. So, legal, spiritual, government, big corporation systems. I'm seeing this as the electricity grid system. So the electricity grid system will be able to stay grounded and balanced. Let's draw another one there. They're working hard on it. So you've got the Queen of Swords as well. She's sort of direct. He is insightful. And there will be abundance. So I'm seeing that yes, it will hold up this year. Oh, I hope so. I hope I'm right on that. I just will ask, will it hold because it will be a moderate winter? Will the electricity grid in Texas hold this year because it will be a moderate winter? I don't know what your forecast. I tend not to research too deeply. I might jot myself down a couple of keywords if necessary, but I don't research too deeply because I don't want to influence what the cards are telling me by what the media is telling me. Is Texas in for a more moderate winter this year? Is Texas in? So out in the cold, it will be cold. There will be snap periods of cold. Will Texas, oh gosh, they're flinging out at me everywhere. These are difficult decisions, but also coming together with contracts and agreements. So I'm wondering whether the other states have got your back, basically. So, flinging out everywhere at me. Is Texas in for a moderate winter this year? Is Texas in for a moderate winter this year? Is Texas in for a moderate winter this year? Haven't looked at the forecast, have no idea. Is Texas in for a moderate winter this year? There will be those who suffer. All I can suggest is prepare, have some easy to prepare foods on hand, tin foods that not necessarily, I mean, would be preferable to be heated, but are not necessarily to heat. So tin stews or whatever, possibly a butane burner or a small portable camping gas burner, firewood if you've got a fire, blankets, but don't be relying on the electricity. So there will be some that struggle. The world, this is on full display, and it will be, and it is coming to the end of a cycle with a new beginning. You have been lied to in the past, and it was all about money. And now they're reaping, the current government are reaping what they sow of neglecting the grid. So I'm not seeing it's going to be harsh. I'm seeing that yes, there will be some that will be affected. All I can say is prepare, have water on hand, clean water on hand, change it regularly so it doesn't go stale, so that if pipes freeze you do have water. Candles, one of those, if you've got it, the little remote, the little hand chargers for your mobile phone. These are things you can put in the cupboard, and if they don't get used, they don't get used. Not a problem. But if necessary, they are there. As I said, tin food, blankets, sufficient timber or coal if you've got fireplace, and some form of gas burner, camping gas burner. Okay, so what does the future hold for the Texas? I've got a card back to front there, I think. Where was it? No, okay. What does the future hold for the Texas electricity grid? What does the future hold for the Texas electricity grid? What does the future hold? So not terribly dire news, which is good. What does the future hold? I always like it when it's not dire. What does the future hold? Mind you, I'm an extreme optimist at heart, so I don't know whether that's me influencing. But yes, prepare like they do for earthquakes in New Zealand, like we do for bushfires in Australia. Prepare. Make sure your neighbours are prepared. Perhaps if you can, have extra to share within your community, if you have the space and can afford it. Even if it's just an extra, oh, sorry, I got a cold chill there as I was thinking, even if it's just an extra couple of cans of food, an extra bottle of water, and open your home to those less fortunate in your community if you have the ability. I remember some very cold, snowed-in winters in southern New Zealand. Nothing like a good big bottle of port amongst friends over a game of cards in front of the fire when the power went out. Not recommending. That was in a misspent youth. But what does the future hold for the Texas? Again, flung out. Despair, out in the cold. Again, it comes down to money. It's always money. Why can't it be community? Okay, what does the future hold for the Texas electricity grid? What does the future hold for the Texas electricity grid? Haven't looked in to see what Texas is being offered in the infrastructure bill. Okay, signifier, Wheel of Fortune. This is the ending of an era. Challenged by the truth, stabbing in the back. So I'm seeing this, looking at the colours and that. This is the oil industry. Challenged by the oil industry. If you look at the base of that pack, base of that card, it's almost oil slick. So changing, crossed by the downfall of the oil industry. Sorry, I don't read upside down. If it comes out, I don't read upside down. Base, the star of hope, which is always fabulous. This is restorative for the planet. This is respite for those that have struggled. But the star of hope. The past is the Page of Wands. I don't know why half this deck's upside down, but the Page of Wands. So this is the youth coming forward with an important message and their dreams for the future. So they've got ideas aplenty. This is the youth coming forward for the future. Crowning it is the giving and receiving of money, and I wonder if this is the infrastructure bill or the Green New Deal that is following it up behind. Near future, the Lovers. Okay, there will be some difficult decisions to be made in regards to contracts and agreements. Things will happen very quickly, and often the Chariot does mean chaos, but if you look at this particular card, they are drawing together. Their heads are turned in different directions, but the driver is not looking concerned. So this is forward movement very quickly. The Queen of Coins, which will provide financial security. She's also a very practical queen. Hopes and fears is there are plans to be made, decisions to be made. Doesn't look particularly happy about it. I think this is the fear of the if you've got the world here. I think this is the concerns of the world conglomerates on these decisions to be made. But you've got the Strength card, which is taking control. Also the moon card though, there is some dirty dealings to come to the surface. There is some uncovering that will occur. And the Fool, new starts with courage and faith. Now look at this, this is 3 major arcana, which means take notice, but this is a stepping forward in a new beginning with courage and faith. So 3 major arcana, take notice is what I'm talking about there. You've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana in this reading, so it is an important reading. Base of the pack is the Page of Cups, so things are going to be revealed. You've got Justice here, which is consequences, a rebalancing, but also consequences of actions. There will be some disappointment and heartbreak, but you've got your victory. Disappointment and heartbreak for those that are invested. So same as worldwide, what's needing to be happening is that, and same in Australia, is that the government is treating the workers as though they're not intelligent. What needs to be happened is there needs to be a presentation of a jobs transition plan that the people can feel hopeful and grasp that yes, okay, the existing jobs and fossils may go, but there will be skilled, well-paid jobs to replace them. That's the biggest fear that's at the moment in regards to converting from fossils, but I see a bright future. So, fabulous. And I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.